amazing race. The Total Dakar Rally, where anything can happen, and probably will. Exclusive to Supersport.
We've been away in the Dakar Rally and picked up malaria, so thanks for crawling out of your bed to be here.
Thank you. Yeah,
are we sure it's malaria?
Let's not go there. Let's give me the first question then. Nissan Motorsport, based at Kyalami in Midrand, was charged with building the two hard bodies for this event. How did that all come about?
Well, earlier on in the year, Alec Poole, who's the Nissan Motorsports Europe General Manager, came to look at the Sugar Belt event and saw the potential of our hard body. That was the event that Janelle de Villiers won. And with a change in the rules this year for the Dakar, saw that this car would fit straight in, and he pursued it from there on.
It's kind of feather in your cap. Had Nissan Motorsport done anything like this before?
No, never really before. And our association during the touring car development with Nissan Europe, I think, played a major role, gave us some confidence, gave them some confidence in us, and come September, it all burst into action, really did burst into action.
Just explain how it works, because you sort of went there as a privateer, but you had Nissan backing.
Well, what has happened, the Sud competition have represented Nissan for the last 16 years, off and on, at various levels of, I suppose, money, to put it in a better word, and they've used the Pathfinder and previous to that the Nissan Patrol, but this was the first year really they've been trying to get up the ladder, and they really wanted to try and challenge Mitsubishi, and they saw us as a good option.
Anybody who was watching the coverage on Supersport would have sat there looking at those red hard bodies and really wishing them sort of over the finishing line. And in fact, they did end up winning 5 of the stages, but not overall.
Well, I think for us, the great part was to be competitive straight off. We, on all of the stages which represented pretty much our off-road scene, we won, and we would have led till halfway had it not been for a speeding fine infringement, and we lost a plug electrode on the engine through one fault or another. So basically we would have led till halfway, and I think that was really exciting.
Yeah. That's the good news. Were there any areas that you were disappointed in, things you might do differently next time?
For sure. We were not going to win the event after all because of our performance in the Sahara and the deep dunes. We had no experience of this, and we didn't have the correct information to develop the vehicles, and there wasn't enough time. Yeah. We needed the tyre deflation system to be anywhere near competitive, and we needed some more cooling capacity in the engine, and those really go hand in hand, because you have to get out to deflate the tyres. Then when you want to start pushing on the rocky sections, you end up with punctures, so they have to stop and pump the tyres out. So you're never going to really see a clear indication of the performance of the vehicle in the dunes. So Mitsubishi used this deflation system not only to increase the speed, but it's less strain on the engine, so they don't have to rev it so high, so then the overheating or the temperature is not such a problem. So it's not quite as straightforward as it appears.
Everything, exactly that. I mean, everything you're saying, it's not a question of just quickly building a bakkie in the sort of backyard of Nissan Motorsport sitting overseas. I mean, this is a major undertaking.
This is serious. When there's a great discrepancy between the leading vehicles and the privateers who simply go there to get to the end, because believe me, it's 9,500 Ks, and even the open sections through France, they're cruising on the highways down there at 160, 180 Ks an hour, and there's no time to work on the vehicles. 2 of our guys were fortunate to go on the event, and they said they literally did not place a finger or spanner on the vehicle till they got into Morocco. That was 3,000 Ks into the event. And the vehicles were ready sort of just in time. We had a small accident during testing in France where we rolled one of the vehicles, testing a new developed tyre, and that sort of was the sort of final nail in the coffin. But Gregoire's car made it to the end, and that was the second car that went over there, and with a lot of the original parts. The Sud team ran, I think, 9 vehicles in total. So there wasn't enough, there weren't enough people or depth within the team to actually maintain and service the vehicles.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it was really tough. I mean, you see it and you know it's tough, but to actually be there must be incredibly tough. But Glyn, time's basically run out, so thanks for coming in the studio, and thanks again, especially bearing in mind you've been so well. Really appreciate that.
Brilliant stuff, and we hope to see South African-built Nissans on the Dakar for many years to come, and hopefully winning as well.
Well, we're going to try. It's looking good.
Okay.
Dakar Rally, where anything can happen, and probably will.
First 4 years that I've been in it, you know.
So you didn't win a cent or come second?
No, you know, you get your money. My son on...
Determination and willpower, second to none. Well, Vicus from Deventer out playing on your Bombardier Baja quad back in South Africa after the Dakar Rally. Vicus, it was a tough rally, wasn't it?
Ja, Dave, het was nie 'n maklike wedren nie. Die koue, Europa se koue het my baie gevang. Sonder werktuigkundige supportspan agter jou, 'n fabriekspan agter jou, is dit onmoontlik amper om te doen. Ek het dit 2 keer reg gekry. Dit was so amper, maar die ding het my gevang op die einde van die dag.
Just looking a bit further back though, I believe there's a bit of a story, an interesting story, why you actually went to the Dakar, how you got the money to go there.
Yeah, I was lucky. Just before the Dakar, I had 5 bonus and 5 numbers and a bonus on a lotto. So that gives me a big kick. That could help me to get a bike. And from there, Moreka came involved, and off-road accessories in Sandton, and the safari hawk in Sandton. And you know what's funny, Dave? The day before I went, I changed tires in Pretoria, and the tires wasn't right. So Kevin Pelse helped me a lot. He sent me to another place to change tire, bike fitment center. I went there, I was feeling like an arsehole. It was 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, day before Christmas. Changing the tires, I asked how much I owe you. Give me another 20 grand. I just want to tell him, you know, everyone who helped me, you know what, that's racing. I know the world's actually so more.
Because it's one hell of an adventure for a single man like yourself, a man who has got no factory support, and go and do that sort of thing. You can answer in Afrikaans. What makes somebody like you go out there and do this?
Dave, weet wat is in jou bloed? As reisies in jou bloed is, die mense het my gevra 2 jaar glad nie in Suid-Afrika gery nie. Ja, vir 2 jaar se geld wat ek kon gespaar het om in Suid-Afrika te ry. Die Dakar elke dag is 'n nasionale een in Suid-Afrika. So every day is vir my 'n national wat ek gery het. Ek meen dit is harde werk. Jy moet baie fiks wees. Die Engelsman sê dit take balls to do it. En hey, ek het dit gedoen en 'n wielberingkie het my uit die reis uit gegooi, maar ek was daar.
Tell us about the story with the wheel bearing. What actually happened there?
Dave, ek het op rusdag het ek die wielberings verander en ek het geruil en ek het nuus ingesit. Maar ongelukkig, ek het dieselfde seels teruggesit. En die bearing is 'n preload, jy moet hom heeltyd opstel. En ag, jy weet mos jy ry reisies en jy kom laat in en daar's eintlik nie regtig tyd nie. Die skuld is op myself, nie op die fiets. Dit is 'n fantastiese fiets wat ek gery het. Ek moes hom nog 'n bietjie opgestel, ek het nie gedoen nie. Dit het my gevang. Ek het omtrent 15 kg geloop daai aand tot by die Boewiek gekom. Ek het gehoor ek is uit die wedren uit. Die volgende dag het gehoor ek is terug. As ek die fiets terugkry, is ek terug. Ek het 1500 Franse frank betaal om my fiets te gaan haal. Iemand my weggevat. Ek het wielberings, so 11 uur het na my toe gekom en my gesê boertjie, kom ek help jou. Hy het die cones uitgeweld. Ek het teruggesit, maar sonder seels in daai sand is dit onmoontlik.
The whole story about the Dakar is more about the privateers. We see on television, obviously, only the front runners, really. They concentrate on that. The story of the privateers, though, actually is the story of the Dakar. Would you agree with that?
Ja, die privateers is die mense wat die wedren maak. Sonder 'n fabriekspan, as jy sien in die aand hoe die ouens inkom, sit en huil. Hy's moeg, hy wil nie in sy fiets werk nie. Jaco is 'n oliemaatskappy in Frankryk wat dit borg. Hy kry 65 kg so 'n AMI trommel wat jy daar aanpak, 2 wiele wat jy aansit. Maar Dave, daai mense is my soos familie. Ek noem almal Jaco, elke Fransman is Jaco. So as ek sê Jaco, het ek 'n yskoue Coke. As ek sê Jaco is spanner, dan het ek 'n spanner in my hand. Die mense is vir my wonders verrig. Ek jou vertel, my oppompmatras, ek het die jaar soos 'n koning gegaan met 'n oppompmatras, het in die vliegtuig gebly. Ek het hom nie in die oggend opgeslaan nie, ek het hom net so in die vliegtuig gelos. Vanaand as ek daar kom, maar heel eers het my sê, Vicus, your bet is there. Dan weet ek, jy het 'n baie goeie, jy reg genade bande met die mense en is baie lekker.
Apart from that camaraderie, there must be an incredible feeling from yourself and other competitors when you're out in the middle of the desert. What's that like?
Here, Dave. Trane rol van al die kant af. Ek meen al die effort wat jy insit, 11,000 kilos wat jy ry en ewe skielik is jy uit. Nee, dit is baie hard. Ek sê vir jou sê wat, ek glo nog steeds, oukie wat nie in die army was nie, het sal moeilik wees vir hom te maak. Die army het ons hard gemaak, dis hoekom ons dit kan doen.
We're not talking about the Wehrmacht now, but tell me something. Is there any special skill that you need to ride a quad through that Dakar rally? Do you have a special skill for that, or do you think anybody could do it?
Miskien kan, ek hoop enigeen kan dit doen, maar ek persoonlik glo, nee, glad nie. Daai kameelgras maak jou klaar. Die dae so lank, ek meen dit is nie, jy ry, jy sien mense, jy stop as 'n boom, daar's niks, dis net jy en jou fiets. Nee, ek glo nie, ek dink alles is in jou kop en jou hart. Jou kop moet reg wees, jy moet van dag 1 af vir jou sê, jy sal en jy gaan wen, en jy sal op die einde uitkom, dan sal jy dit doen. As jou kop reg aan is en jy wil 'n ding doen, dan sal jy dit doen.
One question I've just got to ask you. Apparently you don't wear socks. What's the story there?
Nee, kouse is vir foefies in my lewe. Hannes Grobler was daar en Richard Leek en die heel eerste ding wat ek vir hulle my skoene uitgetrek. Geen kouse nie. Nee, ek is nie ou vir kouse nie. Kouse is vir foefies. Ek glo nie aan kouse nie. Weet as die skoene my begin druk, dan ry ek net al hoe harder.
Finally, what's Vicus van Deventer going to be doing this year, and will you be going back to the Dakar?
Ja, Dave, 100% terug Dakar toe. Ek het 'n paar wedrenne oor see gekry. Ek ry die 23ste van volgende maand Toekei. Die wedren met die meeste spectators in die wêreld, 250,000 spectators by die wedren. Ek gaan hom doen die 23ste. Dan gaan ek terugkom. Ek sal nou kyk of daar vir my iets bymekaar is om in Suid-Afrika te ry. Ek wil graag 'n paar nasionale wedrenne in Suid-Afrika ry. Die Master Rally wat in Rusland is, definitief, ek gaan hom definitief doen. En dan gaan ek Pont-Aven ry in Frankryk. Ja, dis wat my wedrenne vir volgende vir die jaar.
All the best, Vicus, and hope it goes really well for you this year. Any message to your viewers and fans out there?
Ja, ek wil net vir die mense op Lichtenburg sê, jy weet, daar's goeie mense. Ons praat van die leeu. Wiets meubelvervoer het my baie gehelp het en ondersteun het. Ek wil net vir hulle sê baie dankie, my vrou en kinders, my familie, al die boere en die mense in die Noordwes. Baie dankie vir al hulle support, baie dankie.
Vicus, thanks very much for telling us your story about this year's Dakar Rally. It really is an incredible story. What Vicus fails to tell us, though, the story is like in Europe. He had to sleep on cold concrete floors outside of the hotels without a sleeping bag because he hadn't got a booking in those hotels. Everything, of course, was chock-a-block full. He only got his sleeping bag 5 days after the start of the Dakar Rally. So for 5 days, slept on cold concrete floors in and
While 102 Richard